Welcome to Nature's Glory Cabin Off-Road. This is day one of Overland the Red 2025. This is an annual event. I think it's the fourth time they've had it. This is the second time that we've been to it, and it's a lot of fun. We did the afternoon because that was registration day. We did Spahs Creek and Pumpkin Hollow, recorded October 16th, 2025. It was a Thursday. Hell, a little added bonus here. I am using 4 cameras for these trails today. I've got 3 obviously on my vehicle, and I have the vehicle behind me also has a camera up high on the back of his 4Runner, I believe it is. I call it a WAMP cam. You'll see some of those used too. Here's the trail details. Since we only did a couple of trails on this day, we were only out about 2 hours and 45 minutes. Got a little elevation, took a little bit of time, but we had a good time. This is the full map for the entire 2 trails. We started off at Callie's Campground, took off on 613, continued on 613, and to the entrance of Spahs Creek off of 613, all the way to the end of it, and got on 713 over Menifee County, went down to Pumpkin Hollow, and all the way back to Callie's Campground, and we'll have a little more detail on that when we get to that second half. This one here also includes the first half. All right, radio check, rolling out.
Yeah, white gladiators, good on 50.
I got you, Troy. Make a right here on Highway 11. Make a left on 613. Make a right to stay on 613. We don't have to stop, but I'd pay attention to the left anyway. That's a stop everywhere but here. A slight left here onto Spahs Creek, onto the gravel. Watch the right side there for traffic. We're going to pull off to the side here and air down and do whatever we need to do to get ready. This gravel here is right at 2 miles from the entrance on the blacktop. So we stopped here. We got a couple of pictures where you can see 4 of us airing down and getting ready to hit the trail. All right, front's rolling. Now we always run the trails in 4 low. For those of you who haven't been on here, some of these mud holes have little surprises inside of them, so ease into them. They might drop off or do something to you otherwise.
Last time we all had rain, this was about as dry as I've seen it.
Yeah, we had a rain a week or 2 ago, but it didn't last. Everything dried right back up. We're coming up on this mud hole here. Anita's going to get out and go on the other side and take pictures of us coming through this mud hole. Since I wasn't able to get video, we took some picture sequences here of everybody coming through this mud hole. It wasn't as deep as it usually is, but it still was a nice little ride for the easy day. A lot of the natural video sounds from the trail and GMRS that we did. I left a lot of that in this, so a lot of stuff you'll see in here will be that. And I also changed up my side-by-side a little bit. I switched from the side-by-side view to a picture-in-a-picture view that kept the picture a little bit further down and really more like below the hood line. Tell me what you think in the comments. Appreciate your feedback. little
little rise here on the right. I usually go up it. If you don't want to go up it, there's a little place where you can go around it to the left. Stop up here. There used to be a tree down in the creek, and the bypass what everybody used to take. So we usually take the bypass, what used to be the bypass, and Anita will probably get out and take some more pictures here. Got kind of a steep exit on the exit side, so you need to swing way left and then line up with it to go down over it. I'll help the Gladiator if you need it.
More picture sequences of all of us going up around the old bypass where the tree used to be down in the creek. And we get a little bit of an obstacle, nothing very hard. Got a little bit of a steep exit coming out of it, a very nice ramp up the front coming down. On the back side, there's a tree root. There you see that tree there to the right. It's kind of a root that sticks out, so you want to stay a little left and try to get squared up pretty straight in order to get down that.
See what it was, yeah, it's pretty good stitch out there. You have to stop looking at you, some of these stalkers rip a bumper off on that. Oh, yeah. Front's rolling. Yeah, this mud hole here is going to drop off in it, kind of ease into it. If you haven't noticed here, these mud holes are pretty solid. There's about all of these have solid rock bottoms. If there's any that don't, I'll let you know, but I can't think of any right now. But if you get off the trail, there are some spots that does have some mud in them, but you got to stay on the trail and you're fine. The right side of this is pretty flexy, got a pretty off-camber spot to it. And the left side is much more smooth if you want to go that direction, and the exit on the other end's got a little bit of a bump.
More picture sequences going through the off-camber flexi spot with a hole in it on Spalls Creek. Hope everybody enjoys this. Hey, feel free to like, subscribe, comment. We'd love to hear from you. Appreciate you watching and taking the time. This mud hole we're going in here, back in the winter, we broke 4 inches of ice through this thing. Okay, that you can go straight there, but it's got a really off-camber steep spot in the middle of it. We're making a sweep through some trees here. Gladiator, you might need to swing a little wide. Right here where I turned. Anybody needs any help, just holler. This mist of trees we're going through right here is what fell last January during the ice storm.
Nita's going to jump out here and walk up to the chute. There's another little optional place here. I'm going to climb this hill. Y'all can do it if you want to. This is definitely optional. You do not have to do this. It's got a pretty steep entry here, climbing some limestone rock, and a pretty smooth exit on the other side, but you can't see it because your hood's up too high. If you want to try that, I'll come back and spot you if you want me to. And then I'll get pulled up here a good ways and come back and spot everybody through the chute.
Picture sequences on Spah's Creek here, going through the limestone chute. It's pretty narrow, and depending on who's been through it last, it can be a fun little climb. Sometimes there's some rocks stacked at it that make it a little bit easier. It's not hard, but it's an interesting little climb. All right, we're rolling.
I will have to say this trail is very weird looking. Not saturated with water.
Yeah, and this is about the driest I've ever seen it. All right, steep into this little mud hole. Ease down into it. Mud hole here, it doesn't have a lot of water in it, but it's got a steep exit, and it also has a rut in the middle, so you pretty well have to just go at it and get through it. it gets up here, we'll motor to the top and then get back into two-wheel drive at the top of the hill up here. They tell me straight up here there used to be a fire tower where they'd watch for fires back in the day. All that's left of it's the base. Make a left here on 713. Watch this left side, it's kind of blind.
We have just come off of Spas Creek and turned left on 713. That'll take us down to the entrance of Pumpkin Hollow, and we're going to take Pumpkin Hollow all the way to the end. We're going to come out on Upper Cane Creek. Then we're going to take that all the way down to 599, and we're going to make another left to stay on 599 over to 613, and that'll take us back where we came from, where we can go to Callie's or we can go to Slade for gas, whichever direction we want to go. That was the end of our day.
Left into Pumpkin Hollow.
And here we are at the beginning of Pumpkin Hollow, getting ready to tackle the trail.
What always says, just put the tire on the tallest rack, right on over.
There's a washout on the right here, so you kind of got to go in the left. I don't like it. We can't put our tire on the biggest rock because the biggest rock's right in the middle. But all of us should have enough clearance to get across it. Alright, we got a pretty good little rock climb here. I found the best way for me is to go up the right side. they usually go pretty well straight up the middle of this. There's a crack in the middle where there's a gap, and that gap is usually where my rear end fits, so my rear end doesn't hit. Somebody's piled a few little rocks in it. You may want to engage your rear axle locker for this.
This will be the last of the picture sequences, starting with us coming over the rock on Pumpkin Hollow at the top of the hill. This is all done by my wife, Anita Arvance Photography. You can see her stuff, other things she does, also on the Facebook page of the same name, Nature's Glory Cabin. And she also gets, when we're on the trail, she gets trail pictures and gets them posted there long before I ever able to make the videos. So you get a chance, check all those out too. We appreciate you.
All right, we're rolling. Straddling these ruts is the best way to do these while you can. When they get washed out, you may not have a choice.
I'm telling to ride on top of the ruts.
Watch yourself and don't get too close to the edge of this creek. We had a guy in the spring back to Byway who got too close to the edge, and the edge gave way with him and turned his Jeep over into the creek. I think it's right here. I think this is the spot.
Yeah.
I think I've seen a video of that.
Yeah, these edges of these creeks get washed out underneath them, and you can't get very close to them. They'll just give way on you. Pull off to the side here and get out and shut some cameras off and stuff like that and get ready to head out. Don't forget to get back into too high. Got a couple of big dogs up here, kind of got to watch them. They'll mostly get out of the way. Make a left here on Upper Cane Creek. Notice the sign says Pumpkin Hollow on this end. Watch the truck. We'll make a left here on 599. Make a left here to stay on 599. Alright, we're coming back up on a junction of 613. We went right when we got here before to go to Spas Creek. Now we're going to turn right to head back where we came from. We're going to make a left here to go up to Slade and get gas. Y'all want to go back to Callie's, just make a right here. It's not very far down on the left.
And here we are turning into Callie's campground off of Highway 1115 North. This will end our day. We'll go back to the campground and get ready for evening's festivities. There's usually something always going on at Overland the Red every evening. Hope everybody's liked this video. Please like, subscribe, share, comment. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.